One thing I've noticed when I'm out here in the park and it's beautiful fucking weather, like when the sun comes out, obviously it's amazing. And some days when I come out, and it might be like a weekend day or whenever I have my days off, I come out here, I do my gym rings, and obviously I'm aware of my surroundings. I kind of take note of what's happening. And I remember seeing this family having a picnic, and they had 2 kids. They were playing with some other kids, they had water guns, they were having a fun time. But the parents were on their phone on this picnic mat. Even though they were surrounded by beautiful trees, beautiful grass, the birds singing, the actual beauty of nature is astounding, and they were missing out on all of it by being on their phones, scrolling on Facebook. I could see her thumb swiping up, and I could tell she was on Facebook, because that's what moms do, right? It's Facebook, right? And it just got me so sad, because I remember a few years ago when I was living with my dad, he would always say things like, oh, you're teenagers and your screen time, blah, blah, blah. That was a real thing. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was the adults that were telling us, oh, you use your screens too much, you're addicted to your screens, you guys don't even pay attention to the real world anymore. But look at where we are now. Everyone on the train is on their phone, including the old adults. Now, sometimes there will be a guy reading a newspaper. Fair enough. But most of the time it is a phone, and it makes me so upset because you're missing out on nature. You are missing out on the present moment of watching your children grow up before you, because you, as an adult, you are probably working most of the time. And when you have these beautiful moments of having a picnic with your family, but you choose to be on your phone and out of the present moment, you are missing out on a crucial memory for your life. It would be so sad if you never paid attention to your children and you never watched them grow up, and then suddenly it's been 10 years and they're moving out, and then you realize that you missed out on so many moments that could have been so memorable. This is the danger of screens, man. I think everyone is affected by this. Genuinely, like every generation at this point. And I think the younger the generations get, the worse it gets. Because if you're letting your kids, like if you have like little kids, right, like 6, 7 years old, younger even, and they have iPads and they're watching YouTube shorts or some cartoons or Netflix or something, you are already training them to be dependent on their screens for entertainment, instead of, making a mess, being naughty children. But naughty is not a bad thing. By naughty, I mean, maybe you just forget to clean up your toys afterwards. Just teach them to clean their toys up. It's not that hard. Let them play with Legos. And if Legos are too expensive, then buy the fucking off-brand Legos. Buy them toys and let them play with those toys, but don't buy so many toys that they feel that they need the most expensive, the most flashy, the most prestigious looking toy in the toy store. Let them draw, let them sing, let them be children, and give them the opportunity to explore themselves, because otherwise they're always just going to be on their phone, and for the rest of their lives they're going to be dependent on their phones for dopamine. And then they rely on their screens, and then all of a sudden they can't work, they can't study properly, their grades are failing because they played too many video games, just like I did. I was very dependent on my screens for happiness, but instead it took away my happiness, and I thought that if I played more, then I would get happier. But that wasn't the case, because the more you do it, the more fucked up your brain and your dopamine receptors get. I was frying my brain every single day for hours, just playing video games. I wasn't even good because of how often and how long I played for. I would not have the proper focus and brain function for it. I was losing sleep for it. I was losing time. And time is our biggest asset. Time is the only thing that you and I both share. We both have 24 hours in a day. So what are you spending your time on? Are you spending your time on the screens? Or are you going outside? Because you need to go outside, otherwise you'll never live in the present moment, and you need to be present here. And I know you know this. You know this. I just want to make sure that you know this, yeah? I mean, obviously, you know this, right? If you're on self-improvement by any means, you know of presence, you know of screen addiction, you know of this stuff. And I'm telling you off right now. Just read a book instead, or something. Like, just... I can't explain how different my life is after the 6-7 months it took me to quit video games for good. I was addicted for years, and it took me over half a year to properly quit and to properly change my identity from that of a gamer to someone productive. And now look where I am. I'm happy. I'm literally like fulfilled with my life. I'm doing work even when I don't feel like working. I get home late at night from my job, and I still have the energy to work more on my own business. And that's just a level of shit that you need to be on. If you want your shit to not stink, then you gotta turn your phone off and do something else that will make your shit smell less. I don't know if that makes sense. That's the way I'm gonna word it today. And yeah, that was a bit of a rant. I fucking hate screens. And if you're still watching this, I encourage you to just, oh god, I encourage you to stop watching YouTube. If you need help with getting rid of that addiction, I'll coach you on it. 1-to-1 coaching in the description. Alright, peace.